Her suitcase was already waiting by the door when I walked in, bright turquoise, the one she always used for vacations. She was pacing across the living room with her phone pressed to her ear, her voice light, almost rehearsed. When she noticed me, she hung up quickly and forced a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Hey, babe," she said casually, slipping her phone into her pocket, just finishing up packing. I looked from the suitcase to her. Something didn't add up. Her smile flickered for just a second before she said, almost too confidently, "Didn't I tell you? Girls' trip. Hawaii. Just a week. Me and the office girls need a break." No, she hadn't told me anything. Not a single word. But I nodded anyway, swallowing the sting of realizing she was about to fly across the world without even mentioning it. "Right," I murmured. "You said something about that." Her shoulders loosened, almost like she was relieved. "It'll be good for me. You know, a little time apart." The phrase twisted something deep inside me. Time apart? Since when did we need that? But I still forced a smile. "Sure, you deserve a break." She kissed my cheek, quick, light, empty, and grabbed her suitcase before I could even offer her a ride to the airport. When the door shut behind her, the house felt hollow. Too still, too quiet. I opened the fridge. Her favorite white wine was untouched. She hadn't even poured herself a glass before leaving, something she always did before trips. I checked her Instagram. Nothing. No stories. No posts. No airport selfies. For a woman who posted everything from morning coffee to evening sunsets, the silence was a warning. I told myself I was overthinking. 2 days later, I proved myself wrong. Not on her page, but on Kevin's. Kevin, her co-worker. Kevin, the just a friend, who she insisted was harmless. The photo was tagged at a beach resort in Maui. The group posed around a bonfire, drinks in hand. But my eyes locked on her, standing close to him. Too close, his arm low around her waist, fingers barely visible. The caption read, "Best team ever. Island nights." My throat tightened. I zoomed in again and again, trying to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe someone else's arm. Maybe the angle. The next day, another photo appeared. Her laughing in the water, splashing him. A laugh I hadn't heard from her in months. Something inside me splintered. That night, I sat on the edge of our bed, phone glowing in my hands. After minutes of staring at a blank message, I finally typed, "Hope you're enjoying Hawaii with Kevin." No emojis. No explanation. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Then my phone rang. I answered. "What are you talking about?" Her voice was sharp, trembling. Music and waves hummed faintly behind her. "You heard me," I said quietly. "Kevin, the guy who somehow ended up on your girls' trip." "Wait, listen. It's not." I laughed bitterly. "Not what it looks like. Rachel, I saw the photos." Silence. Just her shaky breathing. "Who sent you that?" she whispered. "Does it matter? You lied." "I didn't mean to," she said, voice cracking. "They invited him last minute." I didn't care. I didn't believe it. "Enjoy the rest of your trip," I said, steady but shaking. "Tell Kevin I said hi." I hung up. 5 minutes later, a text came in. "I'm coming home." I stared at the words, my eyes burning. She arrived the next night, sunburned, exhausted, swollen-eyed. Dropping her bags by the door, she stood there in silence, like she didn't know how to breathe. "You flew back fast," I said flatly. Her lips trembled. "I couldn't stay. Not after." "Don't." I cut her off. "Don't try to explain." She stepped closer. "Please, listen. I made a mistake. We didn't." "Didn't what?" I snapped. "Didn't sleep together? Didn't fall for him? Because from here, it looks like you left the moment you boarded that plane." Tears slid down her face. "I didn't fall for him. I just felt seen for once. You've been so distant. Cold." Her words hit harder than they should have. Work, stress, late nights. I've been pouring energy into everything except her. Maybe she wasn't completely wrong. But hearing her use it as justification cut deeper than any photo. "So you look for warmth somewhere else," I said quietly. "It wasn't like that," she begged. I should have told you he was coming. I panicked. I stared at her, searching for the woman I once knew, the one who held my hand in crowded rooms. But all I saw was someone I couldn't recognize anymore. I trusted you, I whispered. I didn't mean to break us, she sobbed. But you did. She collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. What do I do now? I had no answer. Days passed. The house was a graveyard of silence. She tried cooking. I threw it out. She tried talking. I walked away. Everything felt contaminated. Then one morning, there was a note on the kitchen table. I'm giving you space. I'll stay at my sister's until you decide if there's anything left to save. Beside it sat her wedding ring, cold and heavy in the morning light. I picked it up, feeling the metal chill my palm. A week passed. I didn't call. I wanted to every night, but the hurt was a weight I couldn't push aside. The images of her with another man replayed on a loop. Then she posted something on Instagram, a sunset. Caption, some mistakes can't be undone, but they can teach you what love really means. I stared at the post, waiting for anger, but all I felt was emptiness. Betrayal doesn't end with the truth. It stays with you, quiet, sharp, long after the shouting stops. Sitting alone in that empty house, her ring still in my hand, I realized something I'd been avoiding. I didn't know if I wanted her back, or just the version of her I thought was real.